Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tropical Update 28 on potential Tropical Cyclone 6, currently making its way near the northern and windward islands. The reason we're watching this is because it likely will develop into a tropical storm and then make its way, potentially impacting South Florida by the time we get into early this weekend. So, again, overnight tonight into tomorrow, we're watching the windward islands. As we head towards the middle part of the week, we're watching Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. Later part of the week, Cuba and the Bahamas. And as we head into the weekend, South Florida, continuing into the weekend, potentially the Gulf Coast, the United States in play with this storm. Let's take a look at the current satellite image watches warnings associated with this storm. As we can see, not really well developed, lots of convection with it, but the circulation not hugely well defined. Again, this is the first advisory from the Hurricane Center. 80% chance that it becomes a tropical storm. Probably higher than that, in all honesty. It looks like the models are pretty well catching on to it at least some point becoming a tropical storm. As I mentioned, tropical storm watch is in effect for Martinique, Guadeloupe, Dominica, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Dominican Republic from Punta Palenque northward to the border with Haiti. As also, we do have rain as a potential effect with this storm, 1 to 3 inches over the Windward Islands, 3 to 6 over the Dominican Republic. Next advisory from the Hurricane Center at 8 p.m., and we'll have the full advisory again at 11 p.m. Let's take a look at the spaghetti models with this storm. Relatively consistent in terms of the spaghetti models, that is the left-hand side of the screen. General idea is just north of the mountainous terrain of Cuba, but it is going to take a beating over the Dominican Republic before making its way into South Florida. Again, the good news with this is it's not going to be a huge, strong storm, and even if it were, the mountains, the Dominican Republic and Haiti would break it up pretty well, if not the mountains of Cuba, even though it'll stay somewhat offshore. So the good news is this will be relatively weak, but still a big wind and rain maker, and exactly how strong it gets is still up in the air. We take a look over at the other models off to the side, and it's a much bigger spread, anywhere from Houston all the way to and out to sea forecasts wide of North Carolina. So there's still lots of debate of where exactly this will go, but it looks like for the time being, general consensus is just north of Cuba, making its way towards South Florida, and potentially at some point making a northward turn into Florida, into the Florida Panhandle, perhaps even as far as Louisiana. And so, again, that the further it gets out that way, the stronger it could potentially be by the time we get to the U.S. landfall. Let's take a look at the European ensemble out to 7 days here. And we see it making its way towards a landfall point. Where exactly that point is, not necessarily sure. And we can see the zoomed in the center of the screen. It could be anywhere over Florida, basically, potentially a bit off to the side, and as far as Louisiana, or again, as far as South Carolina. So still a lot of debate as to where exactly this storm's going to head with its life, but does look like at a minimum South Florida, the Bahamas, Cuba are in play. We also have 2 storms we're watching after this one within the next week, as we can see another storm heading into the Lesser Antilles, potentially affecting Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic again, and another one out by the Cabo Verde Islands as we head into the peak of this hurricane season. One more look at our intensity guidance on this storm. Again, nothing too crazy. Again, a low-end tropical storm. Not saying that the potential doesn't exist after the 5 days. And so, as we see here, it could strengthen a decent amount before interacting with the Dominican Republic and the mountains there into a mid-grade tropical storm before becoming potentially even a tropical depression or a low-end tropical storm again. And then after it pulls away from those mountainous areas, we could see a little bit of slight strengthening, and that could be enough to bring us near hurricane status by the time we have a potential U.S. landfall in play as we head into this weekend. So that's something we're going to really want to watch here with potential Tropical Cyclone 6. I don't remember the next name on the list off the top of my head, but it starts with an F and it's a guy's name. So something to that extent. I'll see you guys soon. So stay tuned on this, especially if you're in South Florida, anywhere in the general hurricane prone areas, though, as we are nearing the beginning of the peak of hurricane season.